A quick glance at the statistics shows that in many countries, over 75% of all convicted criminals are male. In the case of particularly serious crimes such as murder, the criminal pendulum swings even more towards the male side. However, the fact that women are statistically significantly less likely to commit crimes than men does not mean that the ladies are not also capable of appalling atrocities. Forget Pablo Escobar, Al Capone, and Ted Bundy. Here are the 10 most dangerous women of all time. Before we get started, be sure to hit the like button and ring the notification bell for more great videos. Also, stick around until the end to hear about one of the most brutal female killers of all time. Amelia Dyer. When we think of Victorian serial killers, the gory tales of Jack the Ripper spring to mind. What many forget, however, is the fact that another murderess was up to mischief at the time, killing many more people, Amelia Dyer. In fact, it's believed that Dyer killed up to 400 people over time, but only a few murders could be proven. Particularly sad, the Briton chose defenseless children as victims. So, Amelia worked as a foster mother, taking care of children of unmarried women. Under the pretext of wanting to raise the little ones near London, most of them died shortly after parting from their mothers. When a doctor became aware of the many sudden deaths, Amelia was sentenced to 6 months in prison for child neglect. Released from prison, she continued to kill, with the difference that from then on she no longer reported infant deaths. Then in March 1896, the London police made a grisly discovery. Someone had thrown a bundle containing a child's corpse into the Thames. Fortunately, there was an address on the wrapping paper that led officers to Amelia Dyer. The child killer was then convicted and hanged. Samantha Lewthwaite. Where is Samantha Lewthwaite? Interpol has been asking this question for some time because the British woman is actually one of the most wanted terrorists ever. As the widow of radical Islamist Jermaine Lindsay, who was involved in the July 7, 2005 London bombing, Samantha's believed to be responsible for the deaths of over 400 people. It's suspected that the British woman belongs to the militant terrorist organization Al-Shabaab. She's said to have had a hand in many attacks on religious sites by people of different faiths. In addition, it's considered likely that Samantha was involved in the robbery of the Westgate shopping mall in Nairobi. On September 21, 2013, a hostage situation in the Kenyan capital killed a total of 67 people. The British woman, who converted to Islam at the age of 17, is referred to in the media as the White Widow. Nobody currently knows where the wanted terrorist is. Their trail was lost in Kenya in 2014. Griselda Blanco. When a woman is already nicknamed the Black Widow, this does not bode well. In the 1970s and 80s, Colombian Griselda Blanco made a name for herself in the underworld and quickly became one of the most feared and ruthless leaders of the Medellin cartel. Blanco is said to have ensured, among other things, that cocaine reached Miami in large quantities. But even away from the criminal business world, it wasn't good to try to befriend the Colombian woman. Griselda Blanco was married 3 times. All of her husbands are said to have been killed, hence the nickname mentioned at the beginning. Basically, the so-called godmother of cocaine had a thoroughly sadistic character. Rumor has it that she committed many of her murders just for fun, including shooting a pregnant woman in the stomach and even torturing and killing her best friend. Blanco soon developed severe schizophrenia as a result of her excessive cocaine and crack abuse. At the same time, however, she also had a penchant for outrageously expensive luxuries, such as a diamond-studded pistol. Overall, Griselda spent 20 of her 69 years in U.S. prison. On September 3, 2012, she was shot dead in Medellin by 2 men on a passing motorbike. Melissa Calderon. Melissa Calderon currently has a lot of time to think about her own past. The Mexican has been in jail since 2015. The 38-year-old's record is full of serious crimes, including drug trafficking and murder. Specifically, Melissa was once the leader of a brutal enforcement squad working on behalf of the Sinaloa cartel. The Mexican later founded her own organization with her friend El Chino Lopez. She's said to be responsible for more than 150 murders and countless other acts of violence. Maria Licciardi. In 2021, the Italian police pulled off a major coup, the arrest of the notorious clan leader Maria Licciardi. In detail, the mafia boss was caught by the investigators when she was about to board a plane bound for Spain. Crimes she was officially accused of include receiving stolen goods, fraud, and extortion. According to insider information, the Licciardi clan is said to be closely linked to the dreaded Camorra family. While many criminals act extremely brutally and relentlessly, the exact opposite is the case with Maria. On the outside, she's extremely charming, but when things get serious, the Italian has no scruples. Angie Sanclemente Valencia. In the past, Colombian Angie Valencia was best known as a model, actress, and beauty queen, what nobody suspected for a long time. In truth, the attractive woman was deeply involved in criminal activities. This is rumored to have started when, during a beauty pageant, Angie met a Mexican drug lord who was dubbed the monster in the scene. After their affair ended, Angie started her own drug cartel. In order to smuggle the goods from Colombia and Argentina to Mexico, she mainly hired pretty young girls as they attracted less attention. However, it wasn't long before drug investigators became aware of the cocaine model's dealings. In 2009, one of her smugglers was arrested with 55 kilos of coke in her luggage. After the arrested woman had given the names of her clients, Angie went into hiding, but she insisted on giving newspaper interviews and protesting her innocence on Facebook. The former beauty queen was spotted in Buenos Aires on May 26, 2010. At the trial, she stated that she acted solely out of love for her boyfriend, who was also involved in the drug business. Angie Valencia was sentenced to 6 years and 8 months in prison for drug smuggling. Juana Barraza. How many people the Mexican Juana Barraza actually killed is uncertain. The estimates are between 24 and 49 victims. Since the former wrestler was always after older women in her bloody deeds, she became known as the Old Woman Killer. Even before the series of murders, Juana and an accomplice had disguised themselves as nurses in order to gain access to elderly people living alone and rob them. Maria Gonzalez is considered the first murder victim of the Mexican. The old woman is said to have made disparaging remarks to Juana, whereupon she went completely nuts and strangled Maria. Juana also brutally killed her later victims, all of whom were women aged at least 60. She strangled or killed them and then robbed them. Barraza was sentenced in 2008 to 759 years in prison for 16 counts of murder. Theoretically, however, she could be paroled in 2058, by which time she would be 100 years old. Jodi Arias. It's 2006 when Travis Alexander and Jodi Arias meet at a conference in Las Vegas. A few months later, Travis is found dead in his apartment, severely mutilated from 27 stab wounds and a shot in the head. His ex-girlfriend, Jodi, quickly became the focus of investigators. The two broke up just a few months into their relationship, but continued to sleep together. Shortly before the crime, someone broke into Jodi's grandparents' house and stole a gun. The 27-year-old then rented a car which she drove 4,500 kilometers in 3 days. Investigators later found a camera in Travis's apartment, some deleted footage from the day of the crime showing Jodi and Travis making love could be restored to the memory card. A photo from 5:20 p.m. shows Travis in the shower. At 5:32 p.m., another picture was taken showing the heavily bleeding victim. In court, Jodi initially stated that she was with Travis on the day of the murder. However, they were attacked by 2 intruders who later killed Travis. She later admitted to killing her boyfriend in self-defense. During her interrogation, Jodi repeatedly got caught up in contradictions. In the end, she was sentenced to life imprisonment. Marie Manning. Born in Lausanne, Switzerland in 1821, Marie Deroux went to England as a young woman to work as a maid. She later married innkeeper Frederick Manning. The couple was friends with a certain Patrick O'Connor, a moneylender who charged exorbitant rates of interest and had become very wealthy. Then, on August 9, 1849, what would later go down in history as the Bermondsey Horror happened. The Mannings had invited Patrick to dinner, but this was only an excuse to put a bloody plan into action. The unsuspecting visitor was shot in the back of the head at close range, and the couple then hid his body under the flagstones in the kitchen. A week after the murder, Marie went to the dead man's apartment and stole money and railway stocks. It soon became clear that the perpetrators had planned from the outset to betray each other. While Marie fled with most of the loot, Frederick fled with the smaller share. After Patrick's body was found, the perpetrators were quickly tracked down. So, Marie was caught in Edinburgh, while Frederick was caught by investigators on the island of Jersey. Both were found guilty and sentenced to death by hanging. Shortly before the execution, the murdering couple reconciled before hanging on the gallows on November 13, 1849. Natalya Baksheva. Sometimes curiosity reveals deep insights into the abysses of the human soul. Some time ago, in the Russian city of Krasnodar, a walker came across a smartphone. When the finder took a look at the photo gallery, he was immediately shocked because there were actual countless pictures of severed body parts on the cell phone. Soon, the trail led to Natalya Baksheva and her husband Dmitry. The couple are suspected of kidnapping, killing, and then eating 30 people since 1999. A photo taken in December 1999 shows how cruel and cynical the two acted. It shows a severed head that was served as a Christmas dinner. When the police stormed the couple's apartment, they found numerous frozen body parts from 8 different people. In February 2019, Natalya was sentenced to 11.5 years imprisonment, her husband Dmitry to 12 years. However, he died in 2020. All right, folks, now it's your turn. What do you think of the 10 featured women and their crimes? We're already looking forward to your comments. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to stay up to date. Thank you for watching. Have a good one and see you next time.